Hey everyone, let us talk about something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Being part of Generation X, that generation kinda sandwiched between the boomers and the millennials. Sometimes they call us the forgotten generation, but honestly, I think we hit the jackpot. We truly got the best of both worlds. And today, I want to break down why I'm so incredibly glad I'm Gen X. First, let's talk about our childhood. Remember this. The rule was simple. Be home when the streetlights come on. That was it. No scheduled playdates, no constant parental supervision. We were just out. We built forts in the woods, rode our bikes 4 miles with a pack of neighborhood kids, and scraped our knees on concrete. We learned independence, resilience, and how to solve our own problems because, well, we had to. Our parents weren't hovering. They trusted us to figure it out, and we did. We were explorers in our own backyards, creating adventures out of thin air. We had a freedom that just feels different from today. We weren't tracked by GPS. Our leash was the setting sun. And that sense of self-reliance, it stuck with me my whole life. Then there's the entertainment. We had the last golden age of analog fun. We made mixtapes. Carefully, painstakingly, waiting by the radio for that one song to come on so you could hit record at the perfect moment. There was an art to it. We collected cassette tapes and vinyl records, holding the artwork in our hands, reading the liner notes. When you bought an album, it was an experience. And movies. We had the VCR. Going to Blockbuster on a Friday night was the event of the weekend. You'd walk up and down the aisles, debating with your family or friends, hoping the new release you wanted wasn't already rented out. It was a shared, tangible experience. We also had arcades, spending hours in a pocketful of quarters trying to get the high score on Pac-Man or Street Fighter. And then, everything changed. The internet arrived. Hey, and here's the magic of being Gen X. We didn't grow up with it. But we were young enough to adopt it, to master it, and to build the digital world we all live in now. We went from using card catalogs at the library to typing queries into Yahoo and AltaVista. We remember the screeching sound of a dial-up modem connecting us to a brand new universe. AOL, AIM, MySpace, we were the pioneers of social media. We learned to code, we built the first websites, we were there for the birth of it all. We have this unique perspective of remembering life vividly before the internet, and also being fluent in the digital language that defines the modern era. This dual experience extends to our social lives too. We know how to have a real face-to-face conversation without a phone in sight. We can look people in the eye, read body language, and connect on a human level because that's all we had for the first part of our lives. But we can also text, FaceTime, and connect with friends and family all over the world in an instant. We're not afraid of technology, but we're also not completely dependent on it. We can unplug. We remember what it's like to be bored, and we know that boredom is often where creativity is born. Think about the music. We had it all. We saw the birth of hip-hop, the rise of alternative and grunge, the peak of pop music with artists like Michael Jackson and Madonna. Our musical landscape was incredibly diverse and groundbreaking. From Public Enemy, to Nirvana, to Prince, our soundtracks were iconic and defined a culture of rebellion and introspection. We weren't just listening to music, we were living it. MTV actually played music videos, and they were events. In the workplace, we're the bridge. We understand the traditional work ethic of the boomers showing up, putting in the time, but we also appreciate the millennial and Gen Z desire for flexibility, work-life balance, and purpose-driven careers. We can mediate between the old school and the new school because we've lived in both. We're adaptable. We had to be. We went from typewriters to word processors, from memos to emails, from office cubicles to remote work. We've navigated more technological and cultural shifts than any other generation. So yeah, maybe we're the forgotten generation sometimes. We're not as loud as the boomers or as talked about as the millennials, but we're the generation that got to experience the world in 2 completely different ways. We had an analog childhood and a digital adulthood. We're the latchkey kids who became tech-savvy adults. We're independent, resilient, and adaptable. We're the generation that remembers the before and helped build the after. And for that, I am so grateful. Being Gen X isn't about being forgotten. It's about having a unique, powerful perspective that no other generation can claim. What are some of your favorite Gen X memories? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.